India has seen its biggest daily spike in new COVID-19 cases, recording 3,900 infections in the past 24 hours. The country's overall tally now stands at more than 46,000. Despite the rise, the government has claimed success in preventing community spread of the coronavirus. At the same time, New Delhi has embarked on a massive mission to bring home citizens stuck overseas. The operations, involving naval ships and aircraft, will return hundreds of thousands of Indians stranded in lockdowns around the globe. All incoming international flights have been banned since late March. Now for more on this, Ishan Garg joins us from New Delhi. Ishan, India is seeing a surge in cases. At the same, it has started to roll back some of its restrictions. What's the government's plan moving forward?
The government's plan essentially is to divide the country into three different zones. You've got the red zones where there are clusters of coronavirus. You've got the orange zones where there were clusters, there were cases, but they're not active anymore. And then you've got green zones, places where there are no single cases of coronavirus. And now, since more than 65 to 70% of all India's coronavirus cases are only concentrated in 12 districts, the government's plan moving ahead seems to be contain the cases in these districts and let the rest of the country open up and go back to business. It seems like the government has come to an understanding that it cannot hold the country's economy on a standstill for long enough. Number of people are losing their jobs. There are so many people running out of their savings, which is why the government has now planned that they are going to phase out the lockdown. It's not going to be lifted up completely. Some restrictions are going to be relaxed, particularly in areas where there are no cases of coronavirus. In red zones and orange zones, as I pointed out, where there are cases, there are active cases, there still will be restrictions, and the plan of the Indian government seems to be to contain them. There's also a report by India's Apex Planning Commission which said that the government is going to put more emphasis on protecting more vulnerable people, so people who have comorbidities, people who are above the age of 65. The government is going to invest more in the healthcare infrastructure and trying to protect these people.
Ishan, at the same time, a massive effort is underway to repatriate hundreds of thousands of Indians. Tell us about that.
There are going to be 64 international flights and a number of other naval ships that are going to bring in thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people stuck in different countries. The Indian government, the embassies in a number of countries began taking in applications in over 40 different countries. And only in United Arab Emirates, about 200,000 people applied to be repatriated back to India. Now, the country is not going to be able to bring in all of these people, but it's going to start moving some people from abroad back to India in phases. The first phase starts in the next 2 days, and we are going to see number of huge amounts of people coming into India's international borders. Now, there's a catch here. The people who are going to be coming in, they have to pay for their international flights. Upon coming to India, they will be quarantined in quarantine facilities, either in private medical institutes or in government-built quarantine centers, and they are going to pay for it by themselves. Now, this has raised some criticism of the Indian government because a number of people who are going to come back, they are migrant laborers working in UAE, or be it Singapore or US or UK, and they might not have the means to pay for these things. But the government says that it's doing what it can to help its citizens who are stranded abroad, and it will be a great achievement for it when it's able to bring all those thousands of people back to their homeland.
All right, thanks for that. Ishan Garg speaking to us from New Delhi.